Joining me now is Rick van Nieuwenhuyse, and he is the president and CEO of Contango Ore. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure.
So you've got this Manh Choh project in Alaska. You've got a joint venture with Kinross. You own 30%. You're hoping to get into production by the end of 24. So give us a broad strokes look at what you're doing there.
Yeah, so we've been an exploration company, and we successfully found and defined a nice, high-quality gold resource next to the highway on land owned by an Alaska Native tribe, the Tetlin tribe, which we had a business arrangement with for some time. Kinross has an underutilized mill at Fort Knox, and so in September 2020, we partnered with Kinross, formed a 70-30 joint venture to haul our ore up to the Fort Knox mill and process it there. So we kind of leapfrogged what I call the valley of death. And for most junior companies, when you're doing in pre-feasibility, feasibility study, and permitting, you don't have a lot of new news flow, and so your share price tends to languish during that time period. We've been able to sort of leapfrog that by not building a mill and a tailings facility. We don't have to permit those things, we don't have to capitalize those things. So we very quickly get to production, and we're actually ahead of schedule right now and under budget, which in an inflationary environment is a good achievement. So we should be in production in 2024, so basically a year away.
Very good. And you say there's a significant upside potential to Manh Choh. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so this is a large land package. The Tetlin tribe owns basically a land package that's 675,000 acres. It's the size of Rhode Island, so it's the size of a small state. And we've only sort of really touched the surface of a very productive part of the Tintina Gold Belt. It's private land, so relatively easy to work on. The tribe is very, very supportive of mineral development. Obviously, we've been working with them for, over 15 years now. So we'll undoubtedly find a lot more gold on this property. It's just, we barely scratched the surface.
Now, you say you're an explorer, and you do have a history of striking joint ventures, such as when you were at Nova Gold with VRIC. So what are the main advantages of this arrangement with Kinross, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of a marriage of convenience in the sense of we're good explorers. We know how to get things to a development stage, pre-feasibility level of study. All of us have worked for the major companies, so we know what they need to make decisions to go forward with developing a project. They bring the heavy lifting capacity, the know-how of actually going into production. That's not something that that's not my wheelhouse. That's not even what I enjoy doing. I don't mind like going to mines, but I'm not a mine operator. I don't have the same mentality. So it's a good combination, and we've pretty much done the same thing with. We did that with VRIC at Nova Gold. We did that at Trilogy with South 32, and we did it now with Kinross, and it's a good arrangement. That I think the junior companies can be much more flexible, whereas the producing companies, majors, they've got that rigor and that cross every T and dot every I and make sure everything's going to go well when you advance it to a production decision.
And Rick, you've got the Lucky Shot project where you think you may be sitting on 500,000 ounces basically, and you've got some assay results. What are they showing you, and are you on track for the resource estimate in Q1?
Yeah, so Lucky Shot's a good follow-up project for us. It's a bite-sized project. It's not a huge project. We think we can develop a resource in the 250,000 to 500,000 ounce range there. We haven't released any drill results. We're going to just release them all at once. It's a high-grade vein. It averaged 40 grams per ton in the 1930s when it was operating. We're on track to get our resource done by the end of March. We're developing the model, the 3D model right now, and just waiting for all of the assays to come in and be QA/QC'd appropriately, and before we integrate that into an updated. Actually, I guess for us it'll be a maiden resource. So, pretty exciting. And once we're probably 2 years away from actually getting a mine plan put together, because we've gotten a lot more drilling to do underground, and then based on something between 250,000 ounces and 500,000 ounces. We can get a 5-year, 6, 7 year mine plan put together, producing 30 to 50,000 ounces of gold a year. That's a good place to start, and that's a good pickup from our At Manh Choh, we'll have about 67,000 ounces of gold production, our 30% share for 5 years. And then, as you said, the exploration upside is good there. This is a good follow-on to sort of get us over that 100,000 ounces a year production. That's kind of our sort of immediate objective.
As far as the share structure, you've got directors and officers with about 25%, and you think that Contango does have some unique features to offer investors. You've been detailing them a little bit, but flesh that out lastly for us.
Yeah, I mean, most shell companies that start up have more than we have 7.2 million shares, and most shell companies have 30, 40 million shares when they start up. So we're very unique that way. Our shareholders include ourselves. We own, insiders and directors own about 25% of the company. We've been very prudent about issuing capital. So we're not your typical junior company that's trading at 20 cents. We're trading at $20. So that gives us, and we trade more like a royalty company. And I like that because royalty companies generally trade at a premium to their NAV. And because of our partnership with Kinross, I mean, literally Kinross does all the work. We pay them a fee for that, but that brings a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of horsepower to the team, and that leaves us to do what we're best at, which is exploring and developing a project to a point where we can make a mine construction decision. And at that point, for Lucky Shot, for example, we'll take a look at that time and decide whether we partner with somebody or do we just develop the mine and maybe go talk to our friends at Kinross and see if it makes sense to process that ore there too.
Right, so a lot of differentiators that it looks like at Contango. Thanks for updating us, Rick. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good to meet you, and thanks for the interview.
For sure. Rick van Nieuwenhuyse, he is the president and CEO of Contango Ore.